Tell me your name.
Angel Whited. I am a preschool teacher. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I like to see them learn and to grow, and they're a lot of fun. They keep me young.
Tell me, what is this movie?
The movie that it is Freedom Riders. I believe it was made in like 2007, and it's about a young teacher who moves. I believe it's her first year teaching. It's her first teaching job, and she moves into an urban area where there's a lot of different groups of people, a lot of crime and violence. And she's new to teaching, and when she gets into the classroom, she teaches high school. And when she gets into the classroom, it is not at all what she expected. The children are very disrespectful towards her, towards each other. There's a lot of gang violence, and they bring that into the classroom. And in the movie, she turns them around and kind of gives them a voice. She becomes compassionate and understanding, and they enjoy learning, and they feel good about themselves. And think back to the beginning, and it was a culture shock for me to walk into a classroom full of impoverished children and then have to do, we did home visits and things, and it was really different for me. The first time I watched this movie, it was actually required for a course that I took in college. I had started teaching with an associate degree, and then after a couple of years teaching, I had gone back to school to get my bachelor's degree and my teaching license. And I'd already been teaching a couple of years when I watched this movie, but it was an assignment from a professor. Prior to that, I had never heard of the movie, so that was the first time that I watched the movie. I say it was an eye-opener. It gave me some motivation, maybe, although the movie is based on a true story. I mean, although it's kind of a fictional thing to me, it gave me some motivation to maybe try a little harder, or maybe not be so set in my own beliefs and be more open to learning about other ways of life. I was kind of like bummed about it because I'm not a big TV watcher. When I was assigned, there were a couple movies that I was assigned to watch, and rather than renting them, I just bought them on Amazon. And when they came in, I was kind of bummed because I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta sit here for 2 hours and watch this movie. And then I gotta think, do I need to take notes or whatever? But once I started watching the movie, it's a very good movie, and I found it made me feel good about what I do. We watched it on the DVD player. Yeah, I think we watched it as a family, actually. We made it, since I had to sit and watch the movie, everyone sat and watched the movie with me. I remember one scene where the teacher was kind of getting, fed up with all of the violence in the classroom, and the kids were just not responding to her, so she moved all the desks out of the way, and I don't remember if she drew a line, or I think it might have been tape that she put in the middle of the floor, and all the students stood up. And she had all of the students stand on a line on the tape, and then she would ask them questions. Well, she asked a series of questions, and all of the kids stayed on the line through all of the questions, so it showed the kids that they were all dealing with the same things. In the movie, it taught that although these different groups of kids, like the Latinos and the African Americans and then the white kids, they were at war with each other, but in the movie it taught that they were all dealing with the same thing, so they were really all the same. Well, the administration of the school in the movie really, they told the teacher in the beginning, you just got to get through it. They weren't trying to educate these kids. They were just like, you just have to survive. I definitely would recommend this movie to others. I think that the professor in college did a good thing by having the class watch this movie. Anyone that works with other people would benefit from this movie, because it's not, only about teaching. It's more about changing lives and helping others and finding ways to step outside of yourself to be a better person. And if you're a better person and more understanding of other things, then you can help anyone, even if you work at a grocery store. I think the greatest message is, build relationships with people. Put your differences aside and love one another and treat each other with kindness and compassion. because everyone's situation is different. And although I don't agree with a lot of the things that the families that I work with do, and I you know, honestly, there's times where I'm thinking, why are they doing things like this? But you just have to do your best to help them, to educate them, and to be kind.